Hello, and welcome to another session of Gotham by Night. Gotham is a very busy city. People come, people go. New faces come in, new faces leave. And tonight, there is a new face in Gotham, one of interest to some other players. Ironically, some who are not here. Our scene will take us now to a nice little bar in Gotham City, where currently the hostess of said bar is stepped out for a moment. But it is a great place and one of the only few places in Gotham City for supernaturals to socialize and not either murder one another or worry about being hunted by other things. It is neutral ground, so there is no violence allowed. Security is tight, and it is said that many things watch the club. So, without further ado, we will take the scene away into the club. It is a burlesque club, but it's high end. There is food and drink, and there is also some social lounges. It's got a variety of different things for a variety of different tastes. And Mr. Violette and Mr. Klaus certainly frequent here due to the fact of its security, its openness, and maybe some other reasons. But there's a new face that has come into Gotham. As you two are sitting at the bar, I will allow Talon to walk in. Why don't you tell us what they see?
All right. Talon is a half native, half whatever bastardization of Brooklyn, living in Gotham. As far as nationality goes, he's not exceptionally tall or small, probably about 6 foot on the dot, and he carries himself with a certain grace. He always seems like he's a little on edge, but for the most part, he's. If I were to describe his personality, it would be easygoing. Like, yes, he can be a bit stiff at times, but for the most part, he's not like what you might consider the stereotype, where you're constantly afraid of every shadow, right? You're suspicious of every little thing. He's about as far off the grid as it gets. So I'm trying to remember what a burlesque. That's like a certain type of display in a bar, I believe.
Yeah, there's actually several different kinds of themes that this bar has. So it's like that's just one. It's like basically think of it almost like you ever play Persona?
I haven't played it, but I know people who have.
Have you seen the Velvet Room?
No.
Because
But I'm
the name
sure I can look it up briefly.
basically the name of the club is the Velvet Rose, and it is like a very fancy. It's just kind of one of those like you're almost stepping into a little bit of a time loop, despite the fact that despite the fact that Gotham is in 2025 and everything is cyberpunk in the new city, this has kind of stepped back a little bit.
All right, a quick image search of the Velvet Room gives me a basic idea anyway.
Yep, basically very leathery, very velvety, except instead of blue, it's red.
Okay,
obviously.
That's pretty cool. Yeah, no, I get that it's Elysium. So, I mean, he may not know what Elysium is, but he understands that, like, this is a respectable establishment that he should not be just walking in and palming things.
Yeah, you're checked at the door by security, and you have to leave weapons at the door. But you know,
that would. He wouldn't necessarily snarl at that. He understands there's proprietary things in place, but he's visibly uncomfortable without his gear. But as he walks in, he's essentially wearing these not baggy jeans, like relatively classy jeans, but not in good shape by any stretch of the imagination. Like they've been worn a long time, so they were classy at one point. Well, the image I sent you, basically, he's got like this white hoodie that's got like all sorts of weird splotches of different shades of gray, kind of like what you might consider an urban camouflage. He does have a bandana, only it's a little bit more sophisticated than that, and cover the whole front of his face if he needs it to, stuff like that. Given that he's aware of certain powers, he generally doesn't meet the gaze of many people directly because that's how a lot of his powers work. And so he knows that, like, bad idea.
Yeah, he doesn't mean
he doesn't quite understand that what Elysium is. He's never actually been in one, so yes, this place is respectable, but he doesn't know that it's not.
Yep.
He doesn't necessarily know that's not allowed both ways.
Not that he doesn't like looking in people's eyes. That will definitely be a critical thing. The guards at the door, like they're insistent, but they're not like forceful. But they insist, you got to leave your weapons at the door. So if he,
yeah, he's fine. He'll comply. Okay. Like I said, he's just visibly uncomfortable.
All right, so take your weapons, and you're free to proceed into the club. Probably one of the first places you'd start is the bar because there is a massive selection of drinks, like huge. It spans. The bar is in a kind of a semicircle, and along the back there is like every drink you could possibly think of. And there are only two individuals at the bar right now besides the bartender himself. There are, the two individuals who are in this party. So you guys can take it away if you wish.
It's pretty clear that this guy lives really off the grid and probably doesn't have any cash. So I'm still trying to think of a reason he'd be in such a high scale establishment.
Well, I could say, why don't we say this? Your beast called you to this place.
The horror? Okay.
Yeah. There is a reason for that, too.
I mean, I have needs must, so it's certainly possible there's some decent needs in here.
And do you have detection on? Like, can you look at
family resemblance? Like, am I looking for other things? I will bring up the roll for that, but I do have it.
Okay.
If I'm gonna walk into a place this full of people, I'm definitely gonna be like, kind of paying attention to my surroundings, as it were. Beast culture, extended family. Oh, that's not the role though.
Would this make you consider that a word power?
I think it's just like wits in a cult or presence in a cult.
You can roll me a wits occult.
Okay. I do have trained observer and other like perception-based things. So
go to dice, and then just go to the roll. One thing I have in this thing that I've house ruled is 10s auto explode, and they just grant an additional success. So whenever you have something that says 8, 9s, or 10s explode, you just get an additional hit. So we don't clog up the dice roller with like massive amounts of dice rolling.
Yeah, I actually posted on their GitHub. I was like, "Yo, can we please get 8, 9, and 10 agains?" And wrote. But you can do everything above a 7 explodes or whatever, I think.
Oh yeah, I know. I just like that ruling a little better.
So that is wits and a call. All right. Now, if I want everything 8, 9, 10 to explode, that is more than just an exclamation mark.
Now, do you have 8, 9, 10s explode, or you just have?
I have the 3. I have the 3 dot for trained observer.
Oh wow! Okay, very nice.
So explodes greater than 7.
Sees everything.
Because it'll be 8, 9, 10. Dice explode greater than 7, and then I have to put another greater than 7 for successes, right?
Wow.
2 to 10. Wow. Oh, I forgot to add my lighter to that. But it's okay. It's exceptional anyway.
So Klaus,
yes,
because he's a douche, appears absolutely human.
Oh, if he's
Anthony.
a mage, I'd actually take his integrity off the roll unless he's cast a spell.
No.
Okay.
Klaus is not a mage. He's something worse. He's something worse. Anthony is clearly a Farah. Anthony is clearly a Farah or a werebreed. Since you got 5 hits, you can specifically see the shadow of a great owl kind of lingering behind him in your vision. And the one behind the barkeep, you see up in the corner, the red, wearing the red, he is clearly magical. He's not going to try and hide from you, though. Of course, when you see him look back at you, you see a flash of recognition.
Hmm.
So you think he may know what you are as well. However, one thing about Klaus that's interesting is he looks very, very human. But you got 5 hits, so I'll give you a little notice. He looks human, but he looks... Well, let's put it this way. Say humans were glass vases, like vases.
Oh, he's like a changeling.
No.
Mask, or...
Like think about this. Like think about if you saw a human and they all look like vases. Each vase would have a crack here, something here, right? Very, 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 very subtle things that would be different, right? Because each human's shell is different.
Mm-hmm.
Klaus's seems really perfect. Like there's no flaws.
Okay.
And it's really hard for you to see. Like I am talking subtlety within subtlety within subtlety. It's just so hard to notice, but you just notice that because you've seen people before. You've been a beast for
I got
decent.
Yeah, I've been around for a little bit.
So when you look at Klaus, he looks human, but he looks too human. It's just weird. It's a feeling you get, but you can't put your finger on it, and he shows no signs of any supernatural thing. And these 3 men that you see are the only ones at the bar.
All right, I'll approach the guy with the owl, and I'll just kind of nod and be like, "You gotta, what would you say? Nice." I guess he'd be like, "Nice buddy there," and hopefully he just like takes the hint. And the person who had the large owl, was he behind the barkeep or was he at the bar?
No, the barkeep is the mage, and then
Yeah.
the two other men are sitting at the bar.
Okay, well, I'm gonna just say hey to the guy with the owl because we may or may not be family. Like he didn't tell me he was a beast or anything, so he might be like something
Yeah,
else,
it's
like a geist or whatever.
with your vision, you could clearly tell that he was not a beast.
Yes.
But you can, yeah.
But because I'm because I generally identify with the flying horrors.
Right, gotcha.
I'm just kind of saying hi to him first.
Just because I'm curious, would his like him noticing what people are, would that be an overt power? Because then I'd know he's
I don't think so.
doing something.
I don't think it does. Klaus, you can roll me a wits plus composure though to see if you can see it.
Sure.
Because Klaus has stupid shit.
Okay, that's 7 die. 1 success. All right. Nope.
No, you could tell he was looking at you, but you couldn't tell if he was doing anything. You could tell that he was observing you a bit.
Right. Cool beans.
So, Anthony, this man has walked up to you and says, "Nice friend."
Nice friend.
And I'm clearly not
Oh.
talking about the guy sitting next to you.
Did Anthony just have a stroke?
Hello? Can you hear me?
Yes. Yes.
Now we
Ah,
can.
okay. So, uh,
And
Anthony.
by the way, as you guys are, I'm sorry, as you guys are talking, I will be right back.
All right.
Well, shit, I actually wanted to get the scent off this guy who has just approached. But, okay, I'll
Smells like
do
spray
that
paint.
later. Gotcha.
I don't know.
Yeah. So there's a slight grimace on his face as he gets the overpowering spray paint cologne in
Was
his nose. Ugh. My. What are you, Banksy?
The spray paint cologne.
I was joking.
Okay, well, it's like my guy's been
Oh.
living in the middle
Oh,
of nowhere
oh.
for a long time,
Oh.
so he doesn't have anything like that.
Okay.
trying
Rewind.
to Moving on.
Okay. Anyway, goes. Hi there. Have we met before?
I can't say that we have, but I see we both appreciate some of the higher things in life. He's probably like casually scratching his hair behind his ear or something. Keep in mind, he has no idea this is like a supernatural place for supernaturals to talk freely, so he's just like trying his best to hint that you have a giant owl friend, but he has one manipulation.
Technically, basically think that his shadow has the shape of a giant owl.
Ooh, I have a nice.
That's
trick for
that's what your guy saw.
Oh,
He hasn't got a spectral owl on his.
it's not overlapping
shoulder.
him like my horror would. Okay.
Yeah. He. Are you trying to hint at something, buddy? You know that you can speak freely here.
He just points to your shadow.
And he like, what's wrong with my shadow?
I was just saying it was nice. It's a nice, nice buddy.
Ah. Just to clarify, I mean, cool. Whatever you're into, but I don't swing that way.
I don't know.
But
I
I
don't think I
take
can
it.
just casually impose my horror over myself. I have to actually use an activism or something.
Yeah, but he goes. Seems as if you're new to the city, right?
You could say that. New to living in the city, anyway.
You know what? Let me welcome you to Gotham. It's a shithole, but it's our shithole. Choose a drink. I'm paying.
He picks like this crazy bastardization of like Fireball and just like two other whiskeys mixed together.
Yeah,
Liver man.
make yourself comfortable, buddy. So yeah, in case you didn't know, this place is a bit of a gathering place, a bit of a safe ground for us humans plus. And he gives you a wink.
Jeez. I take a big whiff of this drink before I drink it, making like you could say sensing poison, but we don't have a DM right now, so whatever. And he
I'm
just
back.
takes it like, oh, okay. Well, he takes a swig anyway.
Yeah.
And-
Just slightly smiling in the background. I like looking at you guys. just like a small, perfect little
Most
smile.
awkward shit.
Like this is cute.
Ah, Signore Doctor, how are you doing? And he motions, yes, for our doctor friend to come closer.
I'll scoot over to the next bar stool so it's standing next to you. I'm doing well, thank you. How about you? Come over all right after that trip.
That was crazy, even for Gotham standards.
Yes. It's not often that such things happen.
It almost looked like photos of the old country during wartime. That was freaky.
You boys have a rough night.
Yeah.
You could say that, yes. Yes, you could say that.
Talon just kind of shrugs. He's like not really admitting it, but at the same time, you can see this like small smile, and he's just like that nod of just like, yeah, it's been one of those days.
Well, these two faces here are regular, but this is the first time I've seen you in here. What's your name, man?
After about a moment's hesitation, and you know that he's looking towards your mouth rather than your eyes or your chest, somewhere else anyway, as he introduces himself as Talon, and it's like this taciturn, sort of flat delivery, like this is a name.
I see. Interesting. Nonetheless, welcome to Gotham City.
He nods again, and he kind of has this gesture with his hands, like it's almost a slight bow at the waist, as if to say thanks.
He returns it, interestingly enough. And he says, well, what's your poison tonight?
He just kind of swirls his drink that he already has, and kind of smiles.
I'll get you another one just in case. He hands him another.
He has a tongue. He's not mute. He's just not the most. Yeah.
He says,
so we have 3 people now on the scene, or 4? Because we have the barkeep, and the doctor just joined us, or were you here the whole time?
No, he was here the whole time. That was the.
So he was the other guy.
Yeah,
okay.
He was.
Okay, that's fine. Just making sure I'm on the right page.
The good doctor.
He gives a nod.
There is technically four characters in this little area. There is the barkeep, and then there are you 3 sitting at the bar.
Okay, yeah, that's all right.
Well,
so,
I'm just going. The barkeep will go ahead and speak up.
Okay.
I'm glad you two made it out of there. I heard a little bit about what happened. I take it everything went pretty shitty. And don't worry about saying certain things. No one can hear any of us at the moment. Sorry, Talon. It's just proper precautions when you're of a unique in Gotham here.
Got some Nazi vibes. You're a unique. You're a human plus. You're unclean.
You'll get those vibes sometimes.
Yeah.
Although, to be fair, Talon, if you've read any history on Gotham, you did notice that there was actually a purge of metahumans that happened not too long ago in Gotham City, and it was pretty bad.
Any pretense of humor just drops from his face. He's just like, so what's left?
Yeah, because at that point, it was a while ago, but that was the transition of Gotham City into the cyberpunk era. And even though it's been a long time since that happened, it's still kind of a remnants of Gotham City's old days. Go ahead, Klaus.
It could have gotten smoother, surely. I'm just happy that none of us got seriously hurt.
Huh. Well, from the sounds of it, you should have taken me with you.
Until now, I was like writing down everything that happens, and I was like, wait, this is going to be uploaded to YouTube anyway.
That's why we upload.
Anyway.
I'm afraid I didn't have much of a choice in who to bring. Or even if I wanted to
Jason
do it myself.
There you go.
Yeah,
looks like he's from Baywatch. No offense.
Yes.
Not to rain on your parade or anything, but he's got like that 1,000-yard stare with the weird red jumpsuit and the Spanish last name is just like it fits.
And a kind of
He just-
washed out tan. That's all perfect.
He just kind of he looks at you and he's like, "I'll take that as a compliment."
This was all in character.
Oh shit. Alright.
No.
Talon's gonna seem like he has 6 different personalities.
Welcome to the club.
It's like, oh, that was in character. Fuck, okay, I guess it is.
I
Anyway,
was hoping it wasn't.
I wasn't saying the Baywatch thing in character by any means, but
Well,
Anyway.
it's usually when you say something out of character, you declare out of character.
fair enough.
Well, anyway, you guys, like I said, I'm just glad you guys made it out there. But next time you plan on going and entering a space-time continuum thing, you might want to bring me.
Ah, so that was what I saw.
Small.
I mean, that was the remnants of what I saw.
Yeah, I was only able
Quite
to
the
identify that it had to do with some sort of time magic.
Your thoughts, Dr. Klaus?
Well, it was certainly not the space and time I'm used to. I'm afraid
Nonetheless,
not much use when it comes to differentiating time in that way.
indeed. Well, since Mr. Talon here is new to the whole Gotham City, would you mind giving them would you tell Mr. Talon here about some of the things he should worry about in Gotham City? Or I can, if you wish.
As you've probably heard, our resident crazy criminals are up to their usual hijinks. And I would say if you see a green question mark, probably go 180 degrees in the other direction. The Riddler has been causing trouble, to say the least.
Very well.
There are indeed many here who would, I'd watch out for some of the gangs, watch out for some of the leaders, and make sure you don't make a ruckus. Otherwise, well, some of the others, like the Invictus, will come down on you. It's at this point that 2 other characters enter through the front door.
Where
Either
are
of
we
these
entering into?
The burlesque bar.
the Velvet Rose,
All right.
I was supposed to be entering together?
if you want.
Nah, probably
Okay.
not.
I don't want to be seen with him.
I mean, I've been seen with him, but right now it's a bit. It's like putting him in danger. So yeah, no.
Aw, she does care.
Talon, go ahead and roll me your perception thing again for these newcomers.
Bitch is the only person that cares.
I'm sorry, my friend just said something funny, out of character. We could play Canadian roulette. It's like Russian roulette, but one of the 5 blanks makes you apologize.
Oh my.
The other one's actually the potato bomb.
Yeah, the other one's actually just a Nerf gun the whole time.
Oh my
And
god.
And then even after you're shot and it hits you and you're like, ow, and then the person who shoots you says sorry.
It just sounds depressing.
So who's going in first?
I'm having Mr. Talon roll a perception thingy, because he's got a perception thingy.
Okay.
Because he's a beast. Beasts kind of cheat when it comes to seeing shit.
Yes, they do. Some of us cheat when it comes to hiding.
Yeah.
I mean, most. I was gonna say beasts don't actually have anything like that. Or concealing their nature. Rather, they can pretend to be some other nasty thing if they have family ties, but they can't be like, "I'm totally human, guys."
By the way, Atlas, are
yeah.
you at the bar?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you said
Appar-
I would never go
Yeah,
there.
yeah. The
Apparently,
bartender.
I'm a regular.
Yeah,
I learned
bar-
something new today. I'm a regular.
the bartender, Klaus and Anthony, and a new face were at the bar when you guys walk in.
Well, Creed walks in. I haven't arrived yet because I'm making an entrance, obviously.
Yeah. Okay. Either way, Talon, make your roll. Do it. Do it. Come on, kill me. I'm here. Do it.
We believe in
Do it.
Do it.
What are we watching? Disenchanted now?
No, we're waiting for you to roll your damn
Apparently.
die.
Waiting for you to roll your goddamn dice. Talon, make the goddamn roll.
What the fuck am I supposed to be rolling?
Your
Nobody said
perception,
anything.
your
Oh.
wits, and your thingy that you just rolled not too more than
With
5 minutes
composure, I
ago.
think.
Oh,
Same
the
roll
wits
you
and
did
cult.
before.
What's the cult for him?
Oh, cool. Okay.
Okay. For some reason, I thought you were saying
6 dice. Roll it.
Well, I mean, there you go.
That's
It's,
a weird way to roll.
Well,
do you want
he
the,
does it for exploding.
Oh.
Okay, so
I can get rid of the like you said. It's just gonna be straight up.
believe it or not, that is enough to get some. Talon, when you look at Creed as he enters, actually, is Creed or Tatiana at blood potency 2?
I'm at 2.
You're okay. Creed's at 2. Okay.
Yeah.
The
So
actual freaking
you
thing.
might actually notice a little more. Then let me look at this.
I'm trying to find the page it's on because it's like, hello, where the fuck did you go?
Yeah, Talon. The only thing you're getting from Creed is that he's not human, and that's all you know. That's it. That's all you get.
That sucks. All right.
So Creed's going to walk in. Should I make a perception check to see if I see these people?
By all means, what's composure?
So maybe it's 88. Oh, there we go. It is wits and it's a wits and occult plus layer minus target's composure. If I get a success, I'm aware of the type of creature. On an exceptional, I learn their general nature of the most powerful supernatural talents,
Oh,
such as gifted at mind
Creed-
control,
Creed
or
is
extremely
probably
hard
high
to
as a
injure,
kite.
or whatever.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
Talon, you get the nature that he is a predator, and that he is something supernatural. As specifically as to what, not entirely sure.
Okay.
But he's a predator. He's obviously has hunger, and he is obviously not human.
Okay. So for the future, I'll try to remember that's on page 88. But in the meantime, turns out I have a lot more dice. He's the only one I got anything on with the successful family resemblance.
Oh, well, Anthony, you know, is a Farah. Klaus, you have no idea what he is. Creed, you got as like a. He feels dead.
Okay.
And Creed does not see either of you. Or any of you.
Yeah, he's probably high as a kite.
Yes.
What's a Farah exactly?
Were creature.
Okay.
That's a good distinction to know.
There's a very high sense around Anthony of a spiritual sense.
Okay. Talon will. I'm assuming that they're like a kind of coming up to the bar at this point, or
Creed-
coming in through
Creed-
the door.
Well, yeah, Creed is. The other character hasn't arrived yet.
Okay.
But he has
Creed's dead. And I just kind of like.
So-
He said-
Creed doesn't seem to even notice you guys. As he goes up to the bar, grabs a leans over, grabs a beer, and then shambles over towards the Tatiana's private booth.
Oh.
Hmm.
And flops down in there and puts his feet up on the table.
Yeah.
You're
That's gonna end poorly.
making
Miss,
right.
Mistress Tatiana, would you like to make your entrance?
Why, yes. Well, the door will open and Mr. Caleb May will get in and hold the door open. And then I will come in, followed by my other guard, Mr. Sherman. And I'm fabulous. I'm wearing this and I have the fur and everything because I'm fabulous. I'll just go in. Do I need to do a perception thing too?
If you want.
What's your composure?
3, I think.
Out of character, the reason I was doing I had an actual reason why I was rolling my perception.
Mhm.
Why?
I'm not telling.
He doesn't need to tell you. Either way, Talon's gonna do.
Well,
his
I
thing
have
here.
1 success and it's a tenor. Not that it matters, but
I mean, if you're just gonna you're just looking around, you'll notice some people at the bar that you recognize. Now let's see Talon make his roll here, since he.
Can I not edit? There we go. So we're doing 10, 90, 10 greater than. All right. So we're not. So that is a 10 and an 8, 2 8s. So let's
Right.
double that to 6.
Yep.
Because I had the.
So
holy
yeah,
shit, he knows all my
um,
secrets.
yeah. She is. She is dead. She is probably clearly a vampire. She is probably clearly one with a high humanity. And she is indeed a predator, although it is a different kind of predator, similar to the other one you saw come in.
Okay. On the exceptional, I learned what her essentially most powerful power is. So like if a mage's highest arcana was mind, it'd be like, well, he's really good at mind control, for example.
Well, I guess I'm really good at emotional manipulation.
She is, yeah, she is,
Oh,
she
okay.
is, she has a presence about her.
She's fucked Diva.
I-
You don't need anything else.
I'm good with my tongue, you know?
Well, that's just her being a hoe.
Wow.
No, that's not what I meant. I meant talking. You know?
Yeah, you're very manipulative.
I'm good at talking.
What's happening?
I'm just showing it. I'm just showing all the layouts.
Wow.
Yeah, he does that. Well, she will give a nod to Anthony and Mr. Class and to Jason at the bar, and then she will see Creed at her private booth and
Feet on the table and everything.
pretend she takes a deep breath,
Gets ready to rip him a new one.
and then she will whisper something on Mr. Sherman's ear along the lines of, go deal with that. Because I can't. Pretty much not to kick him out, but don't put your fucking feet on the table very much. But not in those words, because he doesn't use bad language. It's very unladylike, apparently. Yes.
Talon, seeing that the place is getting a little, maybe not crowded, but quickly filling up, is probably going to be on his second drink now. And is not necessarily leaving, but like as his drink gets more and more empty, he's getting closer and closer to the door.
Oh, I see. You're slowly starting to shuffle a bit. I see. All right.
The wallflower shuffles, yes.
Jason hands you a card.
Okay.
Says, if you need some work in
Yeah.
Gotham, let me know.
And does it have a phone number, or
It
is
does.
it like okay?
It seems to only show up when you want to see it, though. Like you'll look at the card and it's blank, but then when you think about,
okay.
hey, but then when you look at it and you think and say, hey, shouldn't there be a phone number? You'll see a phone number.
Nice. And Jason's the barkeep then.
Yes.
Okay. I'll just kind of give him this awkward nod of like, by the way, I don't actually have a house or a phone, guys.
He
Oh,
if,
He
if
just kind of points to the card and he's like got that hand motion by his neck. He's just like,
he says, well, consider this a down payment. For one of your kind here in Gotham, things can be rough. He reaches into a little bag he's got down behind the bar, and he pulls out a cell phone. And
Oh,
it's
burn
2020.
phone,
It's 2025. So like all the cell phones are extremely fancy, but this one is somewhat older. So it's not like
Yeah,
Nokia.
you got an
It's-
iPhone
it's-
5.
Yeah, he got an iPhone. Well, actually, well, technically it's 2025, so he got like an iPhone 10 because right
Yeah.
now it's like the iPhone 15. So he has an iPhone 10.
At this point,
hooray.
as you're
I
taking
should
your
edit
phone,
my character sheet for you.
Oh, and Talon, he also hands you about $500.
at this
Whoa.
point, you hear a loud burp cuts through the soft din of the atmosphere of the club, cutting through the music.
You get this like look from. And he doesn't look
Just
at you,
silence.
but like it's almost like a flinch or a wince. Like really, man.
Well, Tatiana will make a beeline for the aviary, and while she passes, she will give a very, very, very icy cold look to Creed.
Creed, being high as a kite, doesn't really register the look and just smiles and holds up his beer as if to say thank you.
I'm actually
Well,
gonna
she
follow
Turn
Tatiana
her
next.
back. She will turn her back. She's not going out. She's going to the aviary.
Oh.
The club on the left side is all the bar and the stage and the booths and stuff. On the right side, there's an aviary where she keeps her pet birds.
I was gonna say aviary and in a bar is a little awkward, but okay. As long as
No,
they're well
no,
bar,
the-
kept.
it's a burlesque
no.
club.
Yeah, the aviary is not in the general area. It's over by a different area.
Yeah.
So it's a fairly large establishment. Then.
It is. It's a very large establishment.
It even has an upstairs, but it's private.
For
Well, I
his
kind of expected.
activities.
It is kind of private at this point.
Anyway,
Sorry.
Talon, he handed you the phone. He handed you the cash. And he says, like I said, you want more where that came from. You want some work here in Gotham and help you along your way. Let me know. Give me a call.
He says, "Give me a call." Okay, I will actually make an effort to memorize this phone number because Talon
It
is
is.
the kind of guy that carries a ton of
It is 555-132-2311.
Oh,
888.
I was just gonna make an intelligence and composure roll, but okay.
Oh, you get to memorize it in real life.
Here, I'll write it down.
I ended up not taking eidetic memory on this character, which is awkward and rare for me. But yeah, I mean, I got 5 dice, so just in case something happens with the card, it pays to do your dues and just kind of try and commit it to memory for the character. Because it is a supernatural game, and anything can happen.
Anything can happen.
So Tatiana is going over to an area full of birds.
Oh, it's not full of birds. There are like 3 of them.
Oh.
You have an entire aviary for 3 seconds.
Yeah, as
Leave her
it
space, okay?
as okay. What do you think she is? The penguin? No.
Oh my god. I'll still like keep my distance, but follow her over to there if it's not like in a crazy private spot.
Well, no, but there are guards following her, so you
Oh,
see
I don't
that.
care about them.
So
I'm
Talon, do you
interested in the
like,
birds.
I mean, do you walk towards her or do you like just kind of keep your distance of her?
I said I'd keep my distance from her, but I'm mostly interested in that this establishment has birds, like live birds just hanging out here. So it's like, oh, this is cool. Okay, check it out.
Well, yeah, and they are visible from outside of the aviary, and you will see that she
Yep.
sits on the bench, and the birds come to her and she feeds them, and just sits there with the birds because that's what she likes to do.
They're what she feeds off of.
Oh, she has
No,
a low
sure.
blood potency then. All right. Interesting. So, I feel like I'm somewhat compelled to call this number, but the guy's like right here if I'm calling him. So I'll just be like, "What did you have in mind?"
Why
Let
not
me-
just stand there and ask him?
And
Well,
So
there's no
Tal-
point calling him if I'm literally standing in front of him.
So Talon walks back to the bar.
Yes.
Walk back and forth, back and forth. The rest of us just watching him.
Everyone has just lost their spatial awareness.
Well, I didn't think
Alright.
the aviary was like a crazy
It's okay.
distance away, but
It's okay. It's just
well, okay,
funny.
it's not crazy far, but you know.
It's like a war.
It's just
So while he's walking,
if it's like short range, yeah, I'll just be like, "So what did you have in mind?" As I like shrug and just like over to the barkeep. But if it's any further than like comfortable,
No, you have
you
to
know.
actually walk back there.
okay.
Alrighty, Creed. What did you?
oh, I was saying if when Talon goes back to the bar, Creed's going to probably be going up for a second drink. Probably
Only a
going.
second. All right.
He literally just walked in.
Fair enough.
You walked in, grabbed a beer, and sat down.
Walk over, probably like put his hand on Talon's shoulder as he reaches over on the bar. Excuse me, buddy. Grabs another beer and then notices probably Anthony finally. Christian's way too small to be noticed, but Anthony's not. Hey, Anthony!
Talon looks like he's about to move when you put his hand on him, and then he like remembers that he doesn't have his bow, so he feels like naked. So he's just kind of like withers. He's like, "Oh, right."
By the way, so this guy is, just to make it clear, since
He's
the picture
fucked.
does,
Not
he's
sure.
about 6'4",
okay, so that's
big
not-
dude, heavily built.
Heavily tattooed.
Yeah, like if you probably can see it, like, but if he enlarges the overlay again, he has tattoos everywhere, all up his neck, on his hands. He's wearing lots of rings, pierced heavily, big beard. His hair is actually in a ponytail right now. He sort of has a glazed look in his eyes, though, and sort of is stumbling around.
All right.
Doesn't really seem even aware of you as he leaves his hand on your shoulder to steady himself as he turns to Anthony.
Good time.
Hey, Creed, how are you doing?
Is he still leaning on me while this conversation's
Yes.
happening?
Yes.
'Cause he's just like
You're
he's
held
just-
in place.
he's just like withering there, just like, "Oh, please save me."
So
This
it's a-
30
it's a
man
hand
is
on his
fucking-
pet shirt.
He kind of like waves at the bartender, like that sort of, like when you tap your fingers, I guess, on the whatever it's called, barrister. And he's like, yeah, okay, I need another one to deal with this shit.
So every day you've got a drunkie on your shoulder.
He's just like, man, this is so gross. This guy's touching me.
Anthony will also add, "Hey, Creed, by the way, how about you unhand the new guy? I think you're making him feel a little bit put on the spot."
Creed blinks, looks over, his eyes widening as if he just realized you were there.
This
And he goes, "Oh,
disgusted, like
oh,
4 inches
sorry."
shorter than you, person.
Oh, sorry, man, sorry. And Storr stumbles back before he catches himself.
"Hey, Creed, how about you sit here?" And Anthony motions to an empty seat at the bar.
All right, he sits down.
I did not use a nightmare. I wasn't. I was like, he's touching me. But he also said it's a safe place.
By the way, real quick question.
Hmm.
As he goes to sit down, Christian, are you at the bar?
Yeah, I'm on the other side of
Of who, Talon? Or
no, the other white-haired dude.
alright. So he's looking towards Anthony. Then he blinks. Takes a step forwards past Anthony and goes, "Christian, my man, look at you!" And scoops you up in his
Oh shit!
arms.
Oh, Jesus.
Anthony just throws his head back and laughs.
He just manhandles this other person.
That's literally like, let's just put it. Christian is like a small ass dude. He's 5'6". He weighs like 60 kilos. He's a small dude. He's a twink.
Yeah. So Creed literally picks him up to get a better look at him and goes, "Look at you! You haven't changed a day!"
It's just complete fucking shock written all
Burps
over
again.
his face. Like, do I know you?
Yeah. I think we know each other.
Wow. I think so.
Yeah.
I mean, I just jumped
Christian.
all over you.
Christian, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How do you
We
know
went to
my
college.
name?
We went to college together. Yeah, that was it. We went to college together. Med school.
You're a doctor? Incredulous fucking tone.
Pharmaceuticals. I'm trying to remember what my name was. Snaps his seems to realize he's still holding you and sets you down.
Shuffles
as-
back onto the fucking bar stool.
Then seems to light up and goes, "You used to go by Marcus," and sort of nods to himself happily, like he could remember his own name.
Oh. Hello, Marcus. You've certainly changed a lot. I couldn't
Yeah.
recognize you.
How you doing, man? Look at you. You're like the same exact spitting image.
I'm doing quite well. Well enough to keep this face up.
Yeah, still see you can't grow beard for shit.
What did he say?
That you can't go.
Can't grow a beard for shit.
Oh no, I never. No, I can't.
This is like one of the few times Talent talks, and he's just like, well, that would be unsanitary for the doctor. And it's like the only time he's actually said anything other than nice buddy.
Well, usually we don't rub our beards on people. There's such a thing as a face mask. You have to wear it.
I mean, yeah, but like it's still uncomfortable as hell.
Well, I wouldn't know.
Creed blinks as he looks at the two of you and then collapses into the chair next to Christian. turn, spinning it in place, and going, "Oh, right, Anthony, right." Can yeah, I totally am one step closer to the thing we were talking about.
His eyebrows, both of them, just raise up, and he gives you the look of a startled owl, and just with the big blue eyes, just sort of. Okay, maybe another time. You seem a little buzzed, buddy. Afterwards, I would say.
Oh no, this is like nothing. I can still do all the work. Really good.
Was Anthony the were creature?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, good to know. How about you take it a little easy, buddy? You seem a bit hyped. Relax, unwind.
In the background, you just see Talon nodding in
Anthony.
agreement.
Anthony, make me a wits plus composure plus 2 dice.
On it.
I think that's a good time to get out of the aviary and go back to reclaim my booth. And I will have my little raven with me in case Creed wants to come back. I'll have it poop on him.
Come on!
Animalism is a really fun discipline.
I don't have animalism.
Oh,
She should have it.
just good with it.
No, it's my pet.
So she can make it poop on command because she's that kind of lady
No.
that she would train a raven to poop on command.
No.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay,
Two
that was a
successes.
indeed that is a good roll, and I will let you know what happens here. But that was the wrong channel.
Yeah.
Alrighty, so that's 2 hits, but it's 2 10s. That's real nice. The Anthony, you when you smell Creed, you've picked up the scent before, but something smells just a little different. You can't quite put your finger on it.
He looks at Creed quite intently. Everything okay with you, buddy? Anything out of the ordinary happened lately?
Yeah, but we shouldn't talk. Yeah, there was the whole courthouse thing and then the shadow thing, but we shouldn't talk about here, I think.
Okay, gotcha.
Fuck, scared the shit out of me.
Creed, Creed and Klaus both heard that.
What did it say?
You should not speak of that here.
I was just like quickly cast like a look around to see where the fuck that came from. I'm going to scrutinize to fucking figure
Did
that
that
out.
sound like Bob?
Did.
Right.
Okay, I'm going to do scrutinize to figure it out. That's wits plus investigation plus paragon.
Yes. Because fuck demons.
That's 3 successes.
Yeah, that came from an entity that you cannot see that is technically not here but is here. You can sense it, and it seems to be in a. Well, it's here, but this particular thing you're not very familiar with, so you can't really identify much other than that, but you know that it is a being attached to Creed.
He just looks Creed over, like squinting. Like looks genuinely puzzled. I should be able to know if it's a cyber magic. I should be able to know which kind it is.
It is not of the cyber magic.
All right.
However,
Marcus.
however, since you did roll that, I'll tell you as before you continue. As you look around, this place does have some cyber magic about it.
Curious and curiouser. Marcus, my friend, you seem to have picked up something.
Yeah, this hot bar.
No. Something that isn't just like a virus. It's like a virus, yes. And foreign body, I suppose.
Oh, you mean... Yeah, I'm not supposed to speak of him here.
All right.
Talon's just like, there's an awful lot of weird shit here. Not out loud, but like he's just like, yeah. That weird look your friend gives you when you try to cook pizza pops in a frying pan or something. It's just like, but what are you doing?
It's at this point, Talon, we'll go back to your conversation from the bar.
I wasn't trying to hijack it or anything. But...
And Jason will come up to you and he says, "Oh, nothing much. A little bit of delivery. Delivery to somewhat dangerous places, if you're up for it. Pay is good and you're doing good work."
Sounds like a plan. He says it like that too, where like it's very awkwardly delivered, because it's just like, this is exactly the kind of thing some corporate schmuck would say and like bribe you with good intentions, and then the next thing you know, you've actually been robbing small communities, and he's got this like wheel spinning in his head that's just like, I'll do it because I need to. But yeah,
me...
as far as the barkeep's concerned, he's just like, yeah, okay, I'll take it.
Well, he does have the ability to read your mind, but he's not going to do that.
Well, not here, at least.
He looks at you and gives a little nod, and he says, "I assure you, it will be on the level. You're merely going to be delivering things to people who have a difficult time getting them. It's just through a very dangerous area. You see, the old city of Gotham that exists in the old kind of ruins, and then the new city are very far apart and very vast. And then the old city, there's a lot of dangerous stuff there, but people need supplies, and sometimes they're too afraid to leave the security of their compounds. So that's where you come in."
He gives that same bow that he gave before and kind of holds his hand out like, okay, what am I delivering?
Mostly food, supplies, medical.
No, when I didn't say that, he was just like,
Oh, okay.
just reaching his hand out like, okay, give me what you need to have moved.
Okay, heck, if you're going to do it right here, he'll give you a piece of paper with an address on it. Of course, your phone has GPS location, and he hands you a backpack. Inside the backpack is some MREs and some medical supplies.
All right.
And
the guy with the owl, was that the doctor?
that was Anthony.
Oh, it was Anthony. Okay. Oh, okay. All right.
I know it's hard. They're two white-haired people.
I'd kind of give him the old like 2-finger salutes, you know, you like flick your hand. As I basically just shoot down the rest of my drink, and I'm on my way out the door. And the rest of them, I give them that friendly nod. I'm like,
And before you go out the door, there is a character I would like you to meet. Creed, could I bounce you out for 5 seconds while I bring in Mr.
Yeah,
Zoe?
go ahead.
All right.
Ooh, which doing this?
Andrew.
Yes.
Oh shit.
Yeah, you've been wanting to kind of go here for a while now, and it's been a rough few nights. So when you make your way to the Velvet Rose, you walk in through the door, and you look up and you see someone coming back. And Andrew, would you go ahead and roll me your little detection, please?
As long as he's not actively attempting to hide.
I have 3 composure.
Supernaturally.
Yeah, he's not hiding.
Oh, okay. Well, you can't as a beast anyway.
Yeah.
Without family ties.
So he is going to know what he is and what family he is, even more so.
You
Go
still
ahead and roll
take the composure off, I believe. But yeah.
No, it has to be supernatural. It's not. The only time
Oh,
he would
okay.
roll is if he's trying to like detect a mage.
Okay.
Oh,
I
so the whole fucking time I could have just known it because vampires and everything were.
Yeah, that's kind of how kinship works.
Sorry,
If they're
Talon.
not, if
That
they're
was
not
my
using,
bad.
not using like obfuscate, then
I don't
you
need
just
to.
know.
I was okay. 'Cause I was like trying to find
either
a
way.
page for that and everything.
I know. Either way, Klaus once again still came up as human. Tatiana and Creed, obviously vampires. Anthony was a word creature,
Oh, so it is.
and Jason was, of course, a mage. But Talon, as you walk in, you look up, and Andrew looks up, and you're both
And we're
beasts.
both just like, oh, hello.
Slight tilt of the head, and a little arcing to the eyebrow. New in town.
He nods. He actually gives the familiar like slight bow with the waist with the I have no weapons, my hands are at my side sort of thing. A general gesture of just relax. We're here for a good time, you know.
What's going on? And you see him like looking around the building, looking around the room. It's a little out of the ordinary to just bump into a new friend, huh?
Indeed. Do we learn like roughly our? Because we also learn what our like specialty is.
Family, I don't know about hunger. Unless we share the same hunger. Let me pull it up. I have it
We're
written
both
down this-
predators, but you need an exceptional. No, it's for removing doors. Okay. So you know what their power currency reserves, such as blood and glamour and so on, is. You know, type of creature, their approximate power level. So yeah, we would, on the automatic success, we know what type they are, roughly what their blood potency or lair or what have you is, and how well fed that creature is. And with regard to another beast, you identify their family and rough idea of satiety. So I'm pretty well fed right now, and I'm an Oogloo.
Out of
you
character.
are what?
Out of character, Christine. If you want to do that scene, I recommend doing a scene with Andrew and someone else to do that scene out, because that'd be kind of cool to role play out. But back to character. Go back to Talon and Andrew.
Oh, you don't want to be there?
I can if you want to. I don't need to be.
Okay.
Well, Andrew is Talasi, and he is starving. He is actively starving, and in fact, if his new compatriot could have a guess, he's probably only showing up just long enough to check in, and then he's probably on his way out to hunt.
Is that mission with the backpack time sensitive? Like it's food and medical, but they've obviously, I got a card with an address, so like they've obviously been waiting a while already.
It's actually not too time sensitive. You can go do it as you please.
Okay, so I have time to maybe accompany him. All right.
Mhm.
Talon will
that-
kind of approach you because you just walked in, and I was like on my way out. But like at this point, we're actually standing next to each other, and he's like watching you scan the room and shit. We're having sort of a conversation, but he doesn't talk much, so. And normally he would gesture to like his arrows or something that would be like, hey, I can be of use. So he feels kind of weird that he can't do that. He'll just offer his assistance in a very terse, like, me too. Like the most simple statement, just me too.
No, I guess it's up to you.
All right.
I hate to be rude, but what are you doing here exactly?
I'm looking for family, and that takes on a whole lot of different meanings in this company now. But you get the feeling it's not just Beast family. He's trying to reconnect with like not necessarily his biological family, but like his history. He's basically like soul searching, doing what he can to figure out who he is and so on. Because he's kind of lived in the middle of nowhere for like over half his life. He's finally realized he's like, well, you know what? Society has some pretty cool benefits. Like, I should probably check it out. But in character, to answer your question, yeah, he just says, in search of family.
Okay. Well, I am rather acquainted with the people here, so if they're not upset, I won't be upset.
Talon just kind of shrugs and gives this like half grin.
So yeah,
Shall we?
if you're looking to tag along, that's fine. And I guess it'd be kind of awkward, but seeing as he just walked into the building, he just kind of turns around and walks out.
I mean, I wasn't going to stop you from doing what you wanted to do here.
Oh, that's true. He could at least check in first.
Yeah.
Finn Brute just walk in and walk out.
Whoops, I didn't mean to come here. Oh, I guess I'll pick up this fucking orphan, whatever.
Just walk in. Oh, it's you guys. See ya. Just leave.
Yeah, he'll go check in with Miss Grivchenko. She obviously probably wants an update.
I mean,
Alrighty. Just to be clear, is Talon leaving or staying?
When Andrew leaves, I guess. So out of
Okay.
character, are you like actually able to stick around for a while, or like if I go with
What?
you, is that the end of the session for this character?
I think for this particular session, we'll end it pretty quickly here because then there's going to be a divergence where some characters need to do something and then other characters need to do another. So if
Okay.
you want, I do actually have something for Andrew and you if you're both going to go hunting.
Okay.
And then the other characters can do stuff. So go ahead and wrap up anything that anyone needs to do here.
we kind of need Andrew though for the other two.
Indeed. So what we'll probably do is we'll do this. Talon, I'll have something for you where we can go do your little mission thing here. And then we can do that. So for now, I'll go ahead and bounce you out. I'll bring Creed back in. This group will wrap up any last minute role play they want to do.
Okay.
And then we'll
Sounds
diverge
good.
the scene. And then we'll diverge the scenes. All right. So go ahead and do any last minute role play you want to do, and then I will end the scene.
All right. He is going to check in with Miss Grivchenko to give her an update. Not much of an update.
I mean, if we're going to do the whole thing on the next scene, it is probably an update, a full update. So it's just gonna happen like in parallel, I think, with the other thing.
Okay.
I think.
So I guess it's more of a statement than anything to do.
All right, so if no one else has anything more, I'll go ahead and close the scene, and then we shall diverge. Thank you, players, for playing. Thank you, watchers, for watching. This has been another episode of Gotham by Night. New faces, more love. Y'all have a good night.